Hey guys, it's 30th of December. Hope you had a good Christmas. It's been raining here the last couple of days. Going to rain for about another 3 days. Creek is not good right now, so I'm in my shed just, you know how it is, doing some culling. So I picked out some things here I thought we would just look at. We'll go ahead and get started. Little piece here, I think, is just a real nicely shaped oval grinding stone. I think these kind of stones here were used in a mortar or a matata, whatever you want to call it. You can see the edges right here where it's worn down. It's a coarse granite with a fair amount of schist and mica in it. Perfect oval. And here's a black stone piece here, kind of a diamond shape. This is a polishing piece. Got a lot of different facets on it. Used for polishing other tools or stones or possibly pottery, smoothing down pottery. Highly crystalline, real dense. I love this material if I could find it. It's not overly abundant, but here's some finger pieces here, polishing pieces. I'm not going to pick them up. We'll be here all day if I do. Here's some scrapers. Here's a little black stone scraper. A little darkening on the edges there where they held it. I think it was mostly held right in here. It's cupped out right in here for probably for your thumb or a finger. Could have been used for conditioning hides. Probably not quite sharp enough for scraping hides, but another one here. I think this one was used for pottery, smoothing off pottery. Ground down and polish all around the edges. And these all are just what I would consider just little small finger held polishing pieces here. It's notched out for your fingers. You can see how it's darkened in there. These are pretty common. Find a fair amount of these smaller pieces. You got to look for them though. Another one. Notched out on the sides. You have one finger right up in there. That's kind of why it's dark. Dimpled out in the back so you can hold it like this. Give your hands a break. This is more one that would fit more up into your palm. That's your grinding surface there. And there's a nice mortar, or excuse me, pestle here. This is a small handheld, finger-held pestle here. I'm going to switch hands real quick. There's a lot of work put into this piece. This is your grinding end here. Little spike-shaped piece. It's got wear up in through here. You know, some people say maybe that was a worn piece or something like that, but I don't think so. Just kind of got a ball head right up in here, and that's a little finger slot right there. So I think this thing was just, you know, held like that and used in as a pestle. It's in good shape, real good shape. This is a piece here that this is actually a real red sandstone, and this is not from around here. You see a little bit of this over in the northern side of the Appalachians into Tennessee. I think what they use this for is actually for a paint. This is pretty soft and it'd crush up and make a kind of an orange paint. It's almost as red as ochre, but not quite. It's not ochre, but you can see how it's polished. I mean, it's just from holding it there. But they've ground it down quite a bit. And I think that was used to make paint, body paint. There's a game ball. And this a little bit different than the black stone. It's kind of got almost like a greenish tint to it. It's even more crystalline than the black stone. But I'm not sure what this is exactly, but these are rare to find. Here's another pestle. You've seen some of these pestles like this. This is made out of granite, really good solid granite, and it looks like they use this in here for, you know, maybe to work into a mortar or a matata. Edges are so worn, but you can see there maybe that side they used to crush with. But I've got some that are longer than this. This is kind of a short piece. Got that dimple. If I could just ask somebody that was using this tool why they do that. All right, this is what we're getting into, some effigies here. I found this piece on this stone here, and this is a bird effigy that has been reliefed into this stone here, which is a very common way for them to do it. Top left there's the head, you know, and then you get down through the neck and the body and tail back here. But they'll relief these effigies into these stones like that. It's quite a common way to do it. A little bit of cortex right there in the middle of the body, and then up around the neck. They've left a little bit up in here to kind of define the neck. It's another piece here. You can see around here, this is going to be either a phallic piece or a bird effigy. So there you see the pecking mark around, all the way around this upper end of this stone here. They notched it out in here. I don't know if that was just when they were working the stone. But and then there's another pecking line going down through here, and then there are also some going out towards the tail end of this thing. A little bit of a worn piece. And many times, and most times, these are going to be uniface. It's either phallic or or a bird effigy. You see that pecking line. Very common to see that pecking line up on the head of these bird effigies. And phallic pieces also. Here's another little small bird effigy. More of a uniface piece. And when this thing's all polished and all, but when it's wet, you can see in that these different layers of stone back here in the back kind of give it that really nice wing look when it's wet. You see right in here. And this is just what this is just a relief of a wing, a bird wing, and these are fairly common also. I say common, I find them maybe once a year or twice a year. And they, just relief this wing into this stone. It's got a little bit of a break right in here, but anyway, just the bird wing in itself has some kind of meaning, and I'm not really sure exactly what, but I've got maybe about 5 pieces like this total. All the years that I've been hunting that I've actually kept. I've had some that were in such bad shape I just never kept them. But so that I guess you could, these are a few effigies that I'm pretty confident about, and I told you I would kind of give you a look at some of these things, but these are all recent finds. And these are some pieces that I'm not real sure what they are, but I find these fairly common. And they're made out of, it's like a low-grade soapstone. I feel like what they do is but I'm not sure. They use this part right in here, or they maybe even sand poles with them or something. It's fairly coarse rock. I don't know. I'm not real sure on them. They're not real high-grade material, I know that. They're just fairly soft. And we're back not to focusing again. Okay. This is a pretty crude black chopper. You see how it's been worked down into an edge right here. It's pretty beat up and chipped up. I held it like that. I almost didn't keep that. I've got some that are a lot nicer. Just hold it in the hand like that. And here's a shave. See how dark it is in here? This bark's sap. This black stone. See how smooth it is. Scraping poles and shafts. It's a hammerstone. It's the striking end of it right here. Got it notched out. You can hold this thing. They can either pinch it like that. It's dimpled out right here. You can hold it like that also when they strike it. You see that quite often here too with this culture, is that they'll strike, they use these hammerstones on like one side, maybe two sides. Some of the other cultures, I think, where materials were relatively hard to come by, they would make sure that they struck this stone all the way around until they absolutely wore it completely out and they couldn't use it for hammerstone purposes anymore. But up here, with readily available materials, I think they didn't do that very often with their hammerstones. Big chopping stone here. Black stone, or granite, I'm sorry. I don't know, this thing could have been hafted. All been polished down. I don't think it was though. I think it was handheld. Like that. Guess you could have called it a hand axe or hatchet. See where it's been worked on the top. Back. And this piece here, I'm pretty sure about this. You can see where it's been worked down to a point up here. Been polished some, but this is a Tomahawk piece. It's flat on this side, and they would do a lot of different things with these Tomahawks that they made, or worn pieces, whatever you want to call them. It's grooved a little bit right in here and around the top, but I think the way they did this piece they would get a stick and they would flatten the stick off and then mount it on the flat side like that on top, and then strap it, and they would actually groove the handle up near the top of this thing, and that would kind of hold this thing in place. Sometimes they would drill holes in the handle and run their strapping material through the handle and then over the top of this thing. But and also sometimes that they would actually bring part of the wood on either side of this stone and then bring it together at the top to hold it in place. So they would cut a U out in the stick. And the other way is that they would do actually drill holes into live trees, and they would set these things in to the trees. They would do a tree that they knew that was pretty hardy, and it would actually survive that drilling the hole into the tree. And they would, after a growing season, it would close down on this rock, the wood, and it would hold it really firm. And that was a really preferred way for them to make some of these worn pieces. But it took a while to do that. You know, it took a growing season. But yeah, they would run them right through, you know, and then hopefully the tree or the whatever it was would stay alive during the growing season. And if it did, it would just really clamp down on that rock, on that head, and really give them a good secure worn piece. But I'm pretty sure that's what this is. These are flat pieces that I'm not totally sure on this one, because it's got this thumb notch back here in the back and was held like this, and it's beveled on this end, so I'm not real sure on this piece. It's beveled right here, right there, and it's got this thumb notch right there. So I don't know on that piece. I know a lot of these little small pieces about this size are what I would call little cook plates or serving plates, where they would actually, you know, they would just prep their food on or serve their food on. This is one right here, and they all got this little kind of handle end on it. They can just hold it right here, and you know, they could eat their meal off of these things and pass them around or whatever they needed to do. But that's what this is. And these, one of the things too, you got to realize that not like us fat folks, you know, meals were small. A little piece of meat and some, you know, some kind of a tortilla, and you've had a pretty good meal for the day. So anyway, yeah, that's like a little serving plate. And it's stained a little bit on this side right here, kind of. So, all polished. Flat as a pancake. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you have a good New Year's. And we will get some more things to look at here after I do some more culling. And hope, again, happy holidays. Talk to you later.